We have another huge announcement from Upland today, and this one's a big one. Get ready, everybody, because Troves is just around the corner. It's dropping later this year, and we just shared some details here about what's coming with the progression system here. So we've got Trove Banking, we've got the Trove Vault, and a new progression system that will connect your Troves, your properties, your Uppies, service structures, rewards into one larger gameplay loop. The biggest change is that players will now have meaningful choices between using Troves today, right now. Do we use them? And by today, I mean when we collect them, when Troves go live. Or do we bank them? Do we save them? Do we build prestige with them? Raise our progression level? Unlock milestone rewards? We're going to go over this announcement today at a 10,000 foot level. If you've not read it, please do so. Come be informed and understand what is coming with Troves. Now, I do see a lot of people out there betting, when is Troves coming? And I see some people doing over-unders, for instance, on Frost season. Well, Frost season is not till 2027. And so I can say, for everybody who thinks that it will be over, not under. It will definitely be under. It will be before Frost season 2027. It will launch this year. So stay tuned for that. Very, very exciting. And here's a little bit more about what's going to change when Troves come and these added layers here, which I think are a big deal. That really brings long-term playability to Troves. You got a little bit of sample of that during Genesis Week, and it brings prestige and progression and collection all here with Trove. So Troves, Trove Banking, this is the announcement, and the new progression system are planned to launch together later in 2026. So you're not going to get Troves without Trove Banking or this new progression system. These will all launch together. The goal here is to give players a clearer way to measure their long-term progress across Upland. So your progression level will appear on your profile as a number with a progression shield. Let's actually go to that part. So here is the progression shield. So you can see these now look a little bit different. These are what's on your avatar as you scroll around the map. So this will complement the existing status system. It doesn't replace the status system. So your Upland status is Uplander, Pro, Director, Executive, Chief Executive, etc., so on and so forth. It complements it. So, and it in my mind, it gives you a better picture of what you can see here, or what a player is doing rather in the game of Upland. So for instance, a level 100 pro, let's say, we see 35 pro, but let's just pretend that level's at 100. A level 100 pro versus a level 100 chief executive, you can see now that tells a story where a player is putting their focus, what's happening. A level 1000 chief executive tells you something different than a level 50 director, for instance. Like that, you can see it creates this more nuanced and complete picture of what a player is doing in Upland, what kind of prestige they have, and what they've focused on. So how do you advance this number? How do you advance this level? You do it through a mix of activity across Upland, primarily banking Troves. But to do that, you've got to also develop property collections. You've got to develop properties. You've got to complete progression objectives. We'll go over that in a minute. And then you increase your Upland status as well along that. So in simple terms, your status still shows you where you stand in the economy. It still shows you where you stand with your net worth. If you're a chief executive versus an executive or a director or a pro or Uplander, we all know the difference there. While progression, this number shows you more of what you've accomplished across the games, particularly when it comes to Trove, but also it's an indication of what you've done with your property development, how you've gone about it, and really how much you've put into the game of Upland. So let's jump to, oh, by the way, here's the profile picture right here. So you can see, again, I have to do this. Let me do this right here. Please note, this is a disclaimer, so nobody is like, hey, this changed. It finally released, and this is not what you showed at Upland or in the announcement previously. This is what you showed. To all of you, whoa. And I have to show this disclaimer. So all images that we're going to show in this post are works in progress and are not representative of final designs. Visual layouts and other design elements may change before release. So this is just what we have right now. Final designs may change. But you can see, here's a player's profile. You could see their status underneath. They're Uplander. They're working towards pro. There's the bar as per usual. And you can see there's their tag on their avatar there with the number underneath of what they are. So this is an Uplander that is level 195, and you'll be able to see that right there on the profile. So that tells you something. What does that tell you? This says that's an Uplander that has gone to town on Troves. That's what that tells me right there. So first up, we have Trove Banking. Then this is the first part of the progression system that is coming with Troves. So when you get Troves, when you grind for Troves, when you farm for Troves, when you collect Troves, you have several possibilities of use cases. So you can spend them on crafting recipes. You can save them to use them in Uppie quests, and you'll be able to spend them there. You can exchange them for items and rewards, similar to what we saw during Genesis Week. For instance, you were able to exchange them for Sparklet. You were able to level them up and exchange them for genome troves, etc., etc. Or now you can bank them. And banking is the permanent option here. Once a Trove is banked, it cannot be withdrawn. It cannot be spent. It cannot be exchanged later. Banking is permanent. Your banked Troves will display inside your Trove Vault as a lasting record of what you've chosen to preserve. It's a prestige play here. It is your achievement score. I use gamer score. People don't like me using gamer score. I get it, but it's like a gamer score. It's like an achievement score here of what you've done in Upland with Trove. So each Trove will have its own banking level. Let me actually go down, because here is an image of banking. So you can see all of the different images here, and we'll go over those in a minute. Each Trove will have its own banking levels, beginning with bronze, then goes silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and there will be even more levels beyond that. So wood, let's use the wood Trove as the example here. So in this example, you can see wood, the wood Trove, this player is at bronze for that. So he's leveled it. He's banked enough wood Troves to be at the bronze level. Each individual Trove will have separate levels. You'll need to collect and bank those individual Troves in order to level them up. Now, requirements of what it takes to level up those Troves will vary by Trove. So really common Troves, let's pretend that wood is really common. Here real quick, I'm not saying that it is, but let's pretend that wood is the most common Trove in the game for a second. Really common Troves may require more copies to reach silver level, for instance, than Troves found deeper in the game. So a really rare Trove, or a Trove that takes a few levels of recipes deep to get, that may require fewer Troves to bank because it's rarer than the more common Troves. You will not always also have to unlock every level in order. So you don't have to hit bronze before you can hit silver, before you can hit gold. If you have enough collected Troves of wood, for instance, you can exchange them all at once, or bank them all at once, to jump directly to gold. You don't have to go through those middle parts. If you want to save them up before banking them and go straight to gold, you can do that. This creates this central choice behind this system. Do you spend a Trove for immediate value to level up to other Troves, or do you preserve it permanently to build your collection of Troves, to bank it, to put them in your vault, to level up your progression here? Which brings us to how banking connects to progression, how it brings rewards via milestones. Trove banking and player progression are connected, but they're not the same thing. Your bank tracks the permanent levels of individual Troves. We've gone over that. And in your bank, you'll be able to see, hey, I'm at gold for wood, or I'm at diamond for the heart Trove. And that means that you've banked enough to reach that level. Your progression score measures your broader advancement across Upland. And that progression is right here. That is this number. How do I level up? How do I go from level 1 to level 2 to level 2 to level 3, etc., etc.? And you do that by banking Troves, but also progression milestones may require a combination of goals and activities in Upland. So a minimum number of collected or banked Troves may be required, specific Trove types, specific Trove banking levels, coverage across multiple Trove categories, and then an additional progression objective within Upland will unlock the next milestone. That's how levels will work in Upland. So you can see here's an example. For this player, this is just an example. For this player, and you can see this in their progress bar in app, you're going to be able to. For this player to reach the next level in their progress, they have to collect 50 Troves. They have to get 5 gold Troves. You can see that's checked off. They've done both of those. And then they need to complete one of these, either own 100 properties, have at least 50 residents, or own 20 property collections. Again, this is just an example. Those numbers are just thrown in there as an example for now, but this is how it will look in the app, something like this, where it will track for you your progress in app to get you to that next level. And so you can see it's not just about collecting Troves, it's also about doing these other aspects of the game. At our foundation, Upland is a property development game, a property trading game. It is a property strategy game. It is a long-term, forever game. That is a strategy game. That's what it is. And so you've got to decide which one am I going for? What play style am I? How do I play this game? What do I need to do? And all of that feeds into your level and leveling you up. What's cool is reaching milestone levels. At certain milestone levels, you will unlock rewards, and these may include map assets, Uppix bundles, collectibles, customization items, and rewards tied to future Upland systems. Here's an example of this. So you could see, here's the progression bar inside of Upland, or the progression page inside your Upland profile. And you're able to see, okay, I'm at level 195 is my current level. My next reward at level 200. And it's this. Now, when it finally drops, it will most likely list what that prize is. It could be a starter decor pack. It could be Uppix amount. It could be Sparklet even. It could be a rare set of Troves that drop at your next level. But as you level up at certain levels, you will unlock rewards. So this is really cool. Again, for new players in the game, it's a way for players to level up. It's a way for players to play Troves and to expand their portfolio over time, because they can use the rewards to help them do that and help them in the game. And your profile shows the next milestone and its available reward, giving you a clear target to work towards. Instead of leaving progress hidden in the background, you can see it and you can work towards this. Let's talk about Uppies though, because Uppies, some big changes are coming, or not some big changes, some big additions are coming with Uppies here. And I'm actually going to go down to this picture because I think this is just a cool picture. We shared this in an earlier announcement about level 3 Uppies that can care for plants and maintain their well-being. We have some additional information on that aspect, assigning Uppies to your properties, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, we want to talk about Uppies and the Trove loop, especially at level 5 and above for Uppies. Now, this is the first time that we're announcing this. Level 5 Uppies and above can be employed at eligible service structures. As they help level up that structure, higher level structures can unlock better Trove drops from recipes. Again, that part we've announced already. But employed Uppies, this is the new part, will also collect Troves from that structure for you automatically each day. Higher level Uppies will contribute more to the structure and have a larger daily collection capacity. So it's a win-win. Not only are you leveling up your structure with higher level Uppies as you employ them at these service structures to get better drops, better recipes, etc., but also they're able now to automatically collect Troves from you from that service structure. And the higher the level Uppie, the larger the daily collection capacity that Uppie has for you. So let's say a level 5 Uppie, and I'm just throwing out, this is just an example. These numbers are not final or anything like that. Let's say a level 5 Uppie can collect, I don't know, well, I'll use low numbers just for simplicity. Let's say a level 5 Uppie can collect 5 Troves for you automatically. Well, then a level 9 Uppie can collect 9 Troves for you. I'll just use their number. That's not what the numbers are going to be, but that's an example. And so their capacity is higher. So you get a double benefit, bringing more utility to Uppies, bringing a reason to employ them, a better reason to employ them, and really bringing together, closing the loop on Uppies property development service structures. So what about property assignment? We know that level 3 Uppies, we've announced this in the past, can care for plants and help maintain their well-being. Well, why do I want to maintain my well-being? Because higher well-being plants with high well-being have increased chances to drop multiple Troves. They also have a chance to drop more rare Troves if their well-being is high. We are announcing for the first time that level 5 Uppies and above assigned to your properties. So this is not service structures. Service structures are separate. Service structure on a property, you employ an Uppie there, that Uppie collects from that service structure. Level 5 Uppies and above assigned to your property will automatically collect Troves from their plants as well as caring for them. And the way that you can think about this is, I can hire a teenager at a level 3, a teenager Uppie, to come and care for my plants, but they're a teenager. They're pretty limited in what they can do. At level 5, Uppies become adults. And adult Uppies now, they give you more value. They are able to care for your plants like a boss because they're an adult and they're responsible. And also they can collect Troves for you across those plants automatically. Same logic applies here. The higher the level Uppie, the more capacity they're going to have to collect Troves from that property, from your life. Now, what's really cool about automated Troves is the automated collection will use a separate daily limit from the player's personal collection cap. So if you remember during Genesis Week, you were limited to how much you could collect as an Uplander every single day. And some of you hit that cap, which is remarkable. Like, well done. Well done for you. These high-level Uppies that are automatically collecting for you, they have an entirely separate cap. So let's say the cap is at 1,000, or I don't know. Well, I'm just throwing out numbers again. None of this is final. Let's say you have 1,000 cap. You've reached your 1,000 Troves collection, but you've got a bunch of Uppies, and their combined cap is 100. Well, now you can get 1,100 a day because you have those additional Uppies, and they're on a separate cap there. Again, really bringing more utility, really bringing more purpose to not just your properties, to not just Uppies, but to service structures as well, to employment. Very, very cool system. I hope you guys can see how this really starts to tie everything together. It also ties directly into your progression here and how you progress and level up and get this number. Let's go back up here. I'm going to go to get this number as high as possible, unlocking rewards along the way. It's super cool. So you can continue collecting troves through your own activity while your Uppies collect additional troves from service structures and properties. That's the key thing here with Uppies. What's going to be cool about Uppies is the strategy, I think, that is involved here. Because players, let's say I need a specific type of trove, well, you'll be able to move your Uppies between structures and properties as your collection goals change. So you're going to need to be strategic about it. If you're someone that wants to min-max your output here of troves, if you're someone that's really into collecting troves and grinding those troves and farming them, you are going to need to move and adjust your Uppies and different levels of Uppies by what you're in need of. And then you're going to have to grind yourself and figure out, what am I doing myself here in order to min-max your thing. Now, we fully recognize that some players will choose, for instance, to focus just on their player status, their Upland status. So, hey, I'm just focusing on, I got to get from pro to director. I got to get from director to executive. I'm ignoring the troves number. We have other players that will focus just on that trove number. And they're like, dude, I want that number as high as possible. And then we'll have some players that want to maximize both. All three are valid. You play how you want to play. This is built to add more depth, add more strategy, and add more reasons to collect troves across Upland. That's going to do us for today's announcement. Let me actually scroll. We're going to scroll. I like this. I like this screen. I think this is super cool. I just love the progression and it being an app here. It's super, super cool. I think the most important part of this announcement is that here at Upland, we're connecting more of their systems together to give you a reason to log in, to make more choices, to build towards something over time. This is the best forever strategy game out there. There's a reason that we've got staying power while everybody else, where are they? Where are they, everybody? Where are they? Anyways, that's going to do us for today. Don't forget to come and review this in full. Let me know in the comments, or let the community team know wherever you participate with the community what you think of this. Let us know any of your feedback. Let us know any of your suggestions. We would love to hear it. We will take it to the team. Regardless, here's how we're thinking about banking, progress, collecting troves, and how this all ties everything together even more than what you saw at Genesis Week. That's going to do us for today. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll see you in Upland. Bye-bye, bye-bye.